It's around about 40,000 to send the body back home, because now the flights have gone up. That's why it's around about 40,000 now to send the body back home.
And we hope this won't be the last time.
I can't even shake your hand.
Yeah, yeah, we just hope this is not the last.
I do try and keep the record. So far, I will say it's more than 300 people that I have buried. Things were by, like now I'm sitting here, I just fall down. I don't have any history. I don't have any sickness. Then the ambulance will come, the police will come. I will be taken by the state mortuary because they need to go and check. So it's not true. Because if they want to use somebody's organ, they will first go to the family to say that you've got this person who is critically ill. Can we use these organs? Because we see that this person is not going to make it. They cannot just take the organs. Especially the person that passes on from hospital, they don't even do a post-mortem on them because they know what is the cause of death. The people that they do a post-mortem on them, it's the people that have died in an accident. We check what is it that killed the person. So when they say Mbongo Ezate, I will have to explain to the family whether they're going to use a private grave or a public grave, in which I give the difference between the two graves, because a public grave, you bury somebody, after 5 years they will bury somebody else on top of that person. Whereas on a private grave, that person will be alone. If you want to do a tombstone, you can do a tombstone. Merci beaucoup for trusting me, because it takes a while for people to trust. How is it? What do you say?
Even though all the time you get Mbongo Ezate.
Even though I get Mbongo Ezate. And I normally know that they will say now it's COVID. Mbongo Ezate. Ah, Mama Vero. Ah, Mama Nangaye. We do sleep. We didn't kill those people. So when we go home at night, you sleep like a baby because you haven't done anything to them. To answer that, it's not just Congolese, foreign nationals. Let me just put it all, foreign nationals that are dying. South Africans are dying.
Greetings to you all. My name is Christian Musungu. I'm your host. We are honored today to receive one of the women. She will introduce herself to tell us the reason why she is here. But what took us to call here is because the community, the Congolese community in particular, African in general, they have been complaining about the way people are doing, the way funerals are done in our community. So today we got two topics that we're going to discuss about, to talk about, which is the first one is the impact of COVID-19 on the funeral company or life plan services, and the secondly in our community, the Congolese community. We are going to greet her and she's going to introduce herself. But in the meantime, for those who do not understand English, mbote bisika nyoso bozwami, ngai kombo na ngai Christian Musungu. Nazali journaliste ya émission Boyebi Mboka, eloko nini etindi biso to meka kobenga mama o tozali na ye azali o babenga lokola kunda ebembe awa babenga bango ba Undertaker. Donc souci o etindi biso to meka koluka ye ezali ete na communauté lolenge makambo ezali ko salama ya kokunda bibembe ezali ko sepesa biso te misusu bazali koloba ete baza ko chambongo ebele ba dispute ezali okomona mwasi akufi pona kokunda famille ya mwasi ou bien famille ya mobile telemeli makambo wana eza komema epe na ba court parce que hier ko décider na yemo te mais il faut décider selon loi to okende directement ko présenter bino invité na biso du jour. Greeting to you dear guest.
Hi, good afternoon to you too.
Okay,
is it Mbote in Lengal?
Yeah, Mbote, Olobi, Mbote na batinyo so
everybody.
Okay, that's nice. So tell us about yourself. Who are you and what do you do?
Thanks for the opportunity. First, my name is Veronica. Veronica Tako. I am I'm an undertaker who is doing burials. Mostly I do burials for Congolese community. I'm based in Delft in Cape Town.
She is based in Delft in Cape Town. She's one of the women that has been assisting the community. Some of them, they will tell her like Mbongo Ezate, but she's still trying by her best to assist. Mama Veronica, can you tell us how long have you been doing this job?
I've been doing the job for the past 6 years. Yes, it's the past 6 years that I've been doing it.
For the past 6 years, you've been burying people. Can you at least, and I'm sure you don't keep, you do keep tracking or record, but can you estimate how many people have you buried so far?
I do try and keep the record. So far, I will say it's more than 300 people that I've buried.
More than 300 people. And the other question will be, you've been burying people. Why did you only choose the Congolese community? Because you are a South African, but you work mostly with Congolese.
To answer that question, I will say, if I'm correct, in Zambia, God gave me the community. I think he's the one who chose me to do the Congolese community, because I only did one funeral, and after that Congolese started coming to me and asking to do burials for them. It's not just Congolese, because also other countries I do Nigeria, Mozambique, but mostly of the funerals that I do, it's Congolese. I would say 90% it's Congolese.
90% is Congolese. That's the whole community that Mama Veronica, she has been helping with all her good heart. Mama Veronica, we understand that you're facing challenges. Let's say you help a lot of Congolese, but most people in our community, they always say Mbongo Ezate. How do you assist those ones?
I do assist, but now when I'm assisting them, because I will have to go broad. We've got different types of graves in Cape Town. So when they say Mbongo Ezate, I will have to explain to the family whether they're gonna use a private grave or a public grave, in which I give the difference between the two graves, because a public grave, you bury somebody, after 5 years they will bury somebody else on top of that person. Whereas on a private grave, that person will be alone. If you want to do a tombstone, you can do a tombstone.
To do a tombstone, yes, we understand, but most people do not know about the process, because you know where we're coming from, it's a bit different. The burial process in South Africa, can you take us throughout the entire process?
Okay, the entire process. So let's say you receive a call from the family. If the person is in hospital, you need to get the document of the person that has passed on, be it a ngunda or the passport. You go to the hospital, you go and get the documents. Then you will have to go and remove the body where it is. Like I will make an example of Afbob in Maitland. Then you go and remove the body at Afbob in Maitland. You do the processing of the death certificate. After that, you look for a cemetery whereby you will bury the person. And then it's whereby when you get the cemetery, you have to choose between a public or a private grave. Then the family has to choose the coffin and the day of the burial. So that on the day of the burial, you bring the body to the venue, which is, to me, the process is that Congolese are doing it because we are Africans. Some of them will say the body must go first to where the person was staying, because you need to go to where the person was staying so that the body after that can go to where they will do the ceremony. But mostly you'll find out they will say straight from the mortuary to the place where they will do the ceremony, and then from there it goes to the cemetery whereby the person will be laid to rest. And there is one more thing that I think people don't know. If you bury your loved one in South Africa, because Mbongo Ezate, let's say after 5 years, Mbongo is there.
Mbongo is Wami.
Mbongo is Wami. You want to take that person that you buried 5 years ago back to Congo, you can still do that, provided that the person was buried on a private grave. You can exhume the body and take the human remains back to the country.
And we understand that as far as the restrictions are concerned with this COVID-19, things are done differently. But how about the cremation? Are Congolese people also, do you also offer that option of cremating people, just getting the ashes to send to home?
No, we don't offer that. We don't offer the cremation. We only do the normal burial.
Because
and like now, I will have to come up with the point whereby now there is COVID-19. Normally, as I said, you will take the body to the venue. In a case now, there is a COVID-19, the body, you bring it to the venue 15 minutes before they leave the venue. Because with the COVID-19 body, there is no viewing. Person also cannot, we don't even ask for bilamba from the family. We only ask for the blanket so that we can wrap that person in a blanket, because we cannot open that person and put on the clothes because the law doesn't allow us to do so. Also, the body cannot go in a hall or the church because of the restrictions that are there due to COVID-19. And another thing that I would also like to raise, because I think families are having a challenge. We also as undertakers are having a challenge whereby they want 50 people in funerals. But you'll see that people will come in numbers. And they say it's where the virus is spreading in the funerals. Because some, you've seen each other in the last 2 years. When you see each other now, they want to hug, they want to kiss. They don't know where the other person has been, where the person has been. So that's why they only want 50 people. If that can come into the community, that you don't have to go to the funeral just because you know the person that has passed on. They can also now introduce the live streaming of the funerals, whereby a person, if you're sitting at home, you can also be able to see what is going on in the funeral.
Okay, well said. We, according to the restriction, it's not their own laws that they're trying to promulgate. It's the law of South Africa that give restriction because of this COVID-19. Let's speak about, you mentioned something about the documentation. When somebody passed on and you go to take the remaining, let's say for example the person passed on at home, and the paper, how do you deal with unidentified people, and how do you deal with people that do not have the proper paper? Yeah.
Ngunda.
I mean permit, yes.
Okay. The one of the people that don't have the proper ngunda, I do it my own way. Can I not say it on air? And thanks that you said about a person that passes on at home. There's also issues whereby a person will pass on at home, a family will call an undertaker. The first person that they must call when a person passes on at home, it's the police and the ambulance. Because when they come, they have to check whether wasn't there any foul play. Because you might find out the person has passed on at home, there was no sickness, there was nothing. That's why the police have to come to check what really happened. In those cases, if the person was sick, there is a history that has been in and out of hospitals, then that person can be taken by an undertaker. In a case whereby, like now I'm sitting here, I just fall down, I don't have any history, I don't have any sickness, then the ambulance will come, the police will come, I will be taken by the state mortuary, because they need to go and check what is it that killed the person. I think most of the people, they say, no, they take the people's organs. Whereas they just go there to check what was the cause of death.
Okay, that has been clear. I don't know if you have something to add, but I would like to also find out, a lot of foreign nationals, let's say most of them, they do not have life cover or funeral plans. And is it because they can't afford it, or because your policy does not allow them to be part of it?
I like that question, because I've introduced a policy with them whereby I said, like us, like I'm a cost, we've got our own policies whereby you will be a group of people, let's say 100 people. You contribute, let's say 200 rand a month. And you will say that when somebody passes on, let's say we'll make an example of 15,000 will be paid out. What I've discovered with the community is that, how do you know that when am I gonna die? If am I gonna die in South Africa? Or am I gonna die, or maybe I'll be back in Congo? But now, in such cases, nobody knows what is gonna happen when. Because as I'm sitting here as well, I'm doing funerals, but I also don't know when am I gonna die. But I do have a life cover whereby should anything happen to me, at least I know that I'm covered. Because they normally say mbongo ezate. They take 100 rand, you go and buy a beer. That 100 rand, if you could have put it in a policy, or let's say, and underwrite through an undertaker. I'm not saying with me, any undertaker that you trust, you take that 100 rand each and every month. When you die, you know that I've got 15,000. My family won't suffer looking for mbongo. The undertaker will know what to do.
Okay, you said something about start putting money aside. Let's say opening it's sort of opening a saving account so that when the person passed on, then the family, in lieu of financial difficulties, they can still find ways to bury their loved one. And the other thing is, you said something about a policy. That is what you've been thinking about, but what is the reality that we're facing in South Africa is like most of us are using permit, what you call Gunda. So they say it does not allow them maybe to be to subscribe to, is it Old Mutual, FBOB, and so many companies of that offers the service.
Yes, so that's another challenge, because if you go as an undertaker to go and underwrite at Old Mutual, they will want you the document of the person that you are underwriting. But there is also other ways. I will just make an example about what we do. Like there is a burial society. You make up a burial society, let's say as a community. That burial society, they've got an account whereby they know so and so will pay so much into the burial society, so that anything happens, then they will go to the bank account that they have to go and collect money and do the burial for the person. Because that's how we do it. Like I will make an example about us. I've been saying that we've got a burial society. Like now in a burial society that I'm in, I know that if something happens to me, 20,000 will be paid by the burial society, without even having Metropolitan, all these others that will need me to have the documents that will be taken to them. If my kids will just produce the death certificate, they will be paid by the burial society. Like if Congolese also can have such a scheme whereby they can trust each other. If it's 3 or 4 people that are on top, that will know that if you open such an account for a burial scheme, you know that we're using so-and-so as our undertaker. She knows what is going on with our papers. Because Old Mutual doesn't understand when you come with a handwritten death certificate. Because the death certificate for foreigners, it's not the printed one, it's a handwritten one. And so it needs somebody who knows what is going on with the foreign nationals.
Okay, so it's very clear that people, instead of you, I mean, my fellow countrymen, it is very for your own advantages. If you, instead of you to go drink, instead of you to go look for women, start preparing for your own funerals. Do not blame the community that they don't assist. It is time. Mama Vero has proposed the plan. So if you want to be part of the plan, you're going to get her number to call her and talk about. Mama Vero, it is very skeptical for people to believe that COVID-19 exists, especially in our community. So they have been saying like once you feel you're not feeling well, then you admitted in one of the hospital, they kill people for them to get organ. We'll get to that point. But our question is, from your own experience, you've been burying people. Does COVID-19 really exist?
I've been burying people with COVID-19. As I've said, burials of the COVID-19, it's the one whereby we don't even want pilamba. Because we as undertakers, we're also scared. because we don't know whether are we also, like now we're not even wearing a mask. I'm not sure whether where I'm sitting I don't have COVID, because it's a reality. It's there. We can't run away from it, and people are dying. It's not just Congolese that are dying from COVID-19. Even with us South Africans, we're dying of COVID-19. You find out in some families it's taking both mother and father. They've been buried in the same day.
Yeah, that is so painful to be losing our loved one just because of this COVID-19 the pandemic. It really does exist. You have to really take the appropriate measure, the hygienic measure, in order for you to stay away from trouble. But people have been saying also in South Africa, these are the stuff that has been saying in my community as a Congolese. They say like mostly people go to the hospital and they don't return back. They don't come back because doctors are killing people to sell the organs or to, you know, is that information true?
It's not true, because if they want to use somebody's organ, they will first go to the family to say that you've got this person who is critically ill. Can we use these organs? Because we see that this person is not going to make it. They cannot just take the organs, especially the person that passes on from hospital. They don't even do a post-mortem on them, because they know what is the cause of death. The people that they do a post-mortem on them, it's the people that have died in an accident, people that just fall without any. If you are taken by the state, they will do a post-mortem to check what is it that killed that person. Like they will say sometimes a person has been shot. Why do they have to do the post-mortem? They do the post-mortem to check, is it really the bullet that killed you? It might be that you saw the gun, you had a heart attack immediately. Even the bullet that shot you is not the one that killed you. That's why, and the body parts, they don't take them. It's a pity that we can't. If I could take the camera to the mortuary to show people how it is, because when they come to us, again we open them to clean the blood inside. Their organs are still there. It's just that they're not put it the way that they're supposed to be. But their organs are there.
The information that we've been hearing in our society, some of them are not true. It's what we call speculations. And Mama Vero as songi, as she said, so guys, stop believing in whatever you hear. You need to verify the information before confirming or before passing it on to the next person. Mama Vero, how did you come across helping foreigners? Because some of us are saying there is discrimination in terms of we're coming from far and we're in South Africa, and the process of helping, you know, it's difficult for this process to be happening, but it's already happening in a way that you've been doing it. But we would like to know, people are saying this job that you're doing, it's associated to many things. Since you are in and out, going to the mortuary, dealing with dead body, the remaining, we can call it in another term. Can you tell those people that are following, is this job associated with witchcrafting?
Not at all. It's not associated with witchcraft. The job, you do it out of your heart. And when they say mbongo ezate, it's out of my heart that I assist. Because if I was another person, I wouldn't assist. Let me just come back and tell you, how did I come across to do the job that I'm doing. In 2011, I lost my husband. He was shot 12 times. When I could touch him, because I always wanted to do the business, I was working for government. But on the day of the burial, when I could touch him, it's where I told myself, what is it that it's stopping me not to do this business that I've been wanting to do? Because you will find out, even you, when your brother or your sister passes on, you're scared to touch them. You will run away. But if you've got that feeling, because it was my heart that wanted me to do what I'm doing, and you have to do it with passion. If you're doing it to get mbongo, it's where you will be doing it wrong. because you will be going to houses whereby when they say they don't have bongo, you will just say, no, I'm not going to do it. But there are times whereby you will have to stay with the body for 2 months because there is no money. There is no way that I can go to the family and say, no, I've kept your body for 2 months, come and pay me more. They didn't have money from the beginning. Why must I overcharge them? So that's how I started it. I was working for government, but then God called me on another side. And with the job that I'm doing, each and every day I leave my house, I have to pray. So because I'm dealing with different people, different souls, I need to pray. Without praying, then I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing.
There's a question that comes across my mind. Do you sleep at night? Because some people are saying, like, you people that are going to the mortuary in and out, you don't sleep at night. You always see those dead bodies lying around.
We do sleep. We didn't kill those people. So when we go home at night, you sleep like a baby because you haven't done anything to them. And one more thing, those people, you guys are saying that they have died. What we have in our mind, those people are sleeping in a deep sleep, and that's how we take it. Because if you're going to say that, no, those people have died and all of those things, they are ghosts and whatsoever, tell yourself those people are sleeping in a deep sleep.
Okay, it's very a pleasant moment for us to have someone who can clarify, someone who can bring a lot of knowledge and skills to the community, because we've been in speculation in any way, but yet we got Mama Veronica who's with us today. She's just trying to help us to understand the process of funerals. How does it happen? How does it take place? And she has mentioned so many things that you guys have to take home, because she said, like, with this restriction, there's a number of people that can attend a funeral. Please do not fight at the funeral venue. Do not bring, do not argue, do not hug each other, do not greet each other. Can you please bear to the restriction or the measures that had been put in place in order for us to not spread the pandemic, which is COVID-19. And thank you, Mama Veronica, once again. I would like to know, those people that washes the dead bodies, are those like doctors, or is that part of your job?
There is guys that are doing it at the mortuary who wash them. Now I only help sometimes when I see that when dressing a person, then they are slow. It's only then that I help. But with washing, there is guys that are doing to wash them, the ones that are doing the embalming. Because when a person passes on, we need to do the embalming so that the body can stay fresh. That's why even when the body is going back to Congo, you'll find out it arrives, it's still okay, that when it arrives on the other side.
Okay, so do you also offer the repatriation of the bodies?
Yes,
and take us through that process and how much does it need? Because some people are being buried here because of misinformation. They say to repatriate a body, it's more, let's say, like you need to prepare for 50,000 rand for you to repatriate.
We do repatriations because we need to get the letter from the embassy and also the Department of Health here in South Africa. The repatriation will depend on the flight. And there's only 2 flights that are taking human remains to DRC, which is Turkish Airways and Ethiopian Airlines. It's around about 40,000 to send the body back home, because now the flights have gone up. That's why it's around about 40,000 now to send the body back home.
Okay, Mama Vero, thanks once again. We would like to know, there are things that are being said in the community to say Congolese are dying like chicken, Nigerians are dying. Let's speak of all the foreign nationals are dying, but South Africans are not dying. Because what we are seeing is just like people are all, we are tired. So we are tired and we want to go home. What can you tell people that are being shocked by that information?
To answer that, it's not just Congolese, foreign nationals. Let me just put it all, foreign nationals that are dying. South Africans are dying. I so wish that if you can come on a Thursday to the mortuary, you come in the morning, you see when they are taking bodies to the Eastern Cape, you find out that there is FMS that are taking bodies to the Eastern Cape. You find out there's 10 of their cars that are taking people to the Eastern Cape. You go again in the afternoon on the Thursday. You go and count how many coffins are going out of South Africans, of people that are going to the Eastern Cape. It's not just foreign nationals. We also, South Africans, are crying.
It's not only foreign nationals that are dying in South Africa. That is also another misinformation that has been circulating in our communities. Mama Veronica, I would like to know also, like, when your business does not go well, we so believe you are a Christian. How do you pray?
Fortunately or unfortunately, this is not the only business that I have. I do have a construction business as well.
Let's talk about this particular one. Talk about the burial.
Normally, I will pray just like any other person.
Wouldn't it you say, like, God, can you eliminate all of them for me to make money?
I can't say that. What if He can take you to my house? I can't say such a prayer.
Well, it is a very good moment that we're having here, but she said that she prays normally because as we believe that you guys pray like we must die so that you can, get kind
so
of
that we can get more business.
so that you can get more business. Let's speak of COVID-19. Is COVID-19 a big reset for you? Is this the moment you make a lot of money?
We can't say we're making a lot of money, because I don't know how to answer that question, but we can't say we're making a lot of money because people are losing their loved ones. It's something that it's hitting each and everyone, because I might bury somebody, let's say now, of COVID-19, and in my family I might also have to go and bury my family member that has died of COVID-19. So we're not doing much money because of COVID-19. As much as we are undertakers, we also sick and tired of COVID-19. We so wish it can end. Like now, I've been running a business for 6 years. In the 6 years that I've been running a business, this is the first year whereby we run out of coffins, which really shows that this, I don't know whether it's a demonic or whatever it is, if it can come to an end, if people can adhere to all the things that we're being told to do so that the pandemic can end. I'm not going to say that we're making much money.
But does this work on your profit?
It is
much profitable for you, of course.
But we have to pay the things that we need to pay.
Okay, we are going to the end of our show today with Mama Veronica. Mama Veronica, do you have any message for the Congolese in Lingala? Especially for those that always tell you, Mama Veronica, Mbongo Ezate. Give them a message, they are following you.
I would like to say to them, keep safe and stay away from unnecessary places that we have to go to. They will sanitize. Try and sanitize your houses as well. I love you all. I don't want you to die the way that you are dying, because you might think that I love it, but I don't. Because I'm also a human. I would like to see you also living just like any other people.
That's good,
Lingala.
but we wanted to, before you get to Lingala, I would like to know something. I heard you talking, before we start the show, there is something that it's like a dispute between families. Let's say, for example, the wife passed on and the husband want to bury the wife on a certain day, and the family also, they are imposing to that particular day that the husband is proposing. How do you deal with those matters?
With those matters, in order to resolve them, if the families don't come into an agreement, the only measurement that can be taken is the court, whereby the court can rule who has to bury. That's the only measurement, because like now, me as an undertaker, I'm caught in between both families. So if they can't sit down and talk as families, then it needs to be resolved by the court.
It needs to be resolved by the court. Mama Veronica does not make any law in South Africa. She's also abiding to certain laws. Do you guys have policies? Do you guys have a group, or let's say, for instance, a status that you're working around as you that are in this business of funeral services?
We do have, as undertakers, we do have societies whereby we are in. So there are some rules that are there. Because like there are some instances whereby if you've got a problem also as an undertaker, you go to other undertakers just to say, I've got this problem, how can I resolve it?
Thanks once again for watching, guys. The only thing that you need to do now, if you want your loved one to be buried in a dignified way, Mama Veronica is there. Mama Veronica, do you give your number in the public, or is the procedure that people need to follow in order for them to get the number?
I can't give my number because it's already out there.
Okay.
My number is 078 00 97 680. 078 00 97 680. Let me say it for the last time. 078 00 97 680.
Okay, to end the show today, would like also Mama Veronica have been working and she has been involved in our community, Congolese community mostly. Mama Veronica, do you have a word that you'd like to pass in Lingala?
How do you say thank you in French?
Merci beaucoup in French.
Merci beaucoup for trusting me, because it takes a while for people to trust. How is it? What do you say? Trust?
Even though all the
What
time
is
you get
trust
Mbongo
in-
Ezate.
Even though it gets Mbongo Ezate. And I normally know that they will say now it's COVID, Mbongo Ezate Vero. Ah, Mama Vero. Ah, Mama Nangaye.
Mama Nangaye. Mekomela masanga bazomela masanga. Kozwa basi bazozwa basi. Tant que comme Mama Veronica Mbongo Ezate, Mama Nangaye. Vous avez dit quelque chose, trust in what, in French, Lingala? In Lingala.
Well, at least I want to say it because like now they putting their trust in me and trusting me with their burials. I would say thank you for that. Merci beaucoup for trusting me.
Matondi na Lingala. Matondi mingi.
Matondi mingi.
Inkosa.
Enkosi kakhulu, ndiyabulela ngoba nindithembe.
Siyakwazi uthetha kancinci sonke silapha South Africa. For those that speak isiXhosa, we can also speak about it. Mama Veronica, thank you for coming through. It has been a very long journey. We know that your phone is always ringing. It was it's a struggle. It was a struggle for us to get all of you, but you've given us an opportunity to sit and speak to you. And those that are following, they've watched. You got Mama Veronica's number in case you need a dignified funerals. Mama Veronica, people are saying that you are cheap compared to other people. What is the secret?
Okay, I must make my prices up a bit. If they say so, I must up my prices a bit. Then.
No, sorry, I would like to rectify. She's not cheap, but she's affordable.
Reasonable.
Yeah, reasonable and affordable
that
compared
the
to other
reason that I'm
funeral services.
reasonable, I know that I'm dealing with people that are not from around. I also have to be lenient to people so that at least people can be able to bury their loved ones.
Thank you for watching us today. This was Boyebi Amboka's show throughout a YouTube channel which called Congo Revelation News. You can all the time send us your comments, all the time you can phone us. Our number is always there. If you would like also other services, let's say for instance, there are many services that we offer, but today we were just honored by Mama Veronica. Mama Veronica, thank you for coming through once again.
It's a pleasure.
And we hope this won't be the last time.
I can't even shake your hand.
Yeah, yeah, we just hope this is not the last time that you're coming through our show. And we thank you.
Thank you too.
All right. For those that has been watching, we say bye-bye from my side and the whole technical team. We love you. Please be safe. And COVID-19 exists. Stay away from trouble. Do not spread the virus. Bye-bye.
Bye.